I've reached out to some of the biggest names in UFO lore, okay? They all got SCIF Flu, and we call it SCIF Flu, meaning like the day that the SCIF was open, that we reserved it, we're like, we're here, like, come on, come brief us. They get sick, or their dog dies.
So they ghost you?
They ghost us. Yeah, so I'm like, well, if you're not going to tell me to SCIF, then you're full of crap.
Or you're scared for your life because you're just a scientist.
I'm not interested in hearing about people's books. I'm interested in hearing about whether or not people can answer the questions, because we are trying to get this into the archive.
After several visits to D.C. at the request of members of Congress at my own expense, we were given cancellations at the last minute. After coming back home again, I made it clear the last time that I had a pre-existing commitment. I was given 3 days notice and no guarantees while having committed to speaking in Oregon publicly available. Luna knows the truth and we have the emails to prove it. I will chalk this up to her not being informed by her staff and an innocent mistake, I hope. Otherwise, let this be a lesson to future whistleblowers who want congressional protections. This is all about media attention and less about truth. I hope this is not the case, and I suspect Chris Mellon and others at UAPDF that know the truth may have more to say about this.
I've reached out to some of the biggest names in UFO lore, okay? And they all got SCIF Flu, and we call it SCIF Flu, meaning like the day that the SCIF was open, that we reserved it, we're like, we're here, like, come on, come brief us. They get sick, or their dog dies.
And they didn't recover and come back?
They didn't recover, and then they just don't talk to us anymore. So
they ghost you?
They ghost us. Yeah, so I'm like, well, if you're not going to tell me to SCIF, then you're full of crap.
Or you're scared for your life because you're just a scientist who doesn't, maybe they got threatened. Maybe someone let them know that maybe someone hung something on their door in the middle of the night.
But if people say they're going to go tell us in a SCIF and then they don't show up, it's a problem, right?
Well,
so they've already gone public.
But maybe those people don't feel like the government's going to protect them.
All right. Let me know if you guys could hear me. Doing it live on the backup channel. Woo, and on X. We got TET says, hell yeah, Luna. And let's throw this up here. This is the latest going on here. We got the Mojo Mucho. Oh, wait, no. The Major Mucho. Finally, someone official is calling him out, and Lou can't do jack about it. Hell yeah. We love to see it. They also say payback time. Hell yeah. Surreal. They all need this. They just talk in vague terms. Hell yeah, bro. Luna laying down the law on Lou. This is getting interesting. Montezuma, high five emoji. Hell yeah. Thomas, Lou, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Oh, I said saying that wrong, but yeah. Yeah, Lou. What you gonna do, man? You can't dodge the SCIF forever, bro. Can't dodge the SCIF with the FBI forever, man. Dude, this is shaping up so crazy. I mean, when you really think about what's happening here, this is insane. Okay. Lacey Fields. Lou saving the good pigs for the SCIF. Bone Ethnic reposted the stream. Hell yeah. Thank you. And let me just make sure you guys could hear me. Just be quick. Like I said, I'm going to try and do these on the backup channel a lot more. Some of these little quick stories, quick updates from UFO land. So where should we start real quick? Let's go back in time a little bit. Let's go back a little bit. This is the first time there was any ever kind of public little rift between these two.
Yesterday,
So this is after the hearing last year. The hearing was on November 13th, 2024. Lue Elizondo. Thank you, Dirk. I can hear you fine. Thanks for letting me know, guys. It's audio, honestly, is the worst part of all this. But anyways, after the hearing on November 13th, 2024, which also, by the way, interestingly enough, was the first day the New Jersey drones were reported. I think that's not really touched on enough aspect of the whole drone wave in New Jersey around Picatinny Arsenal. The first day they were reported was November 13th, the same day as the hearing. I don't know what to make of that. Make of it what you will. But anyways, this was Rep. Luna after that. This were the first kind of little signs that, oh, what's going on here?
What I will state is yesterday, was I a little bit disappointed in some of the responses from the witnesses? Yes, we got some great stuff. But, I'm not interested in hearing about people's books. I'm interested in hearing about whether or not people can answer the questions, because we are trying to get this into the archive so that people have access to the information. And so I wish there was a little less pitching and more talking.
All right, there we go. Okay, then, the next kind of big things with this was the first time that this whole SCIF Flu got coined. Rip Luna.
Hit a UAP hearing.
This is Askapol. This was back in, I want to say, May, right? So this is the first time we ever heard kind of any of this SCIF Flu talk. Let's just run through this real quick.
When do you think we'll get a UAP hearing?
We actually have and being noticed currently, so you guys will see all that information coming out.
What happened with this week's hearing?
Well, we have 2 SCIF briefings this week, and
Yeah.
by the way, Melon got sick, Lue Elizondo got sick,
Yeah.
and Mr. Grush also is not feeling well, but Grush has been very helpful.
Yeah.
So my message is, we got the SCIF, you guys need to be here for the SCIF briefings.
Yep.
Thanks.
Awesome. Appreciate you, ma'am.
How many showed up?
We had 3 in there, but 3 of our main ones were sick, so we're gonna get it back on the books and see if they show up. They had SCIF Flu.
How is FBI?
We're gonna get them back on the books and see if they show up. SCIF Flu, and then how is the FBI? Oh, they didn't want to meet with the FBI. Lue Elizondo doesn't want to meet with the FBI. I don't know.
Amazing. It was 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You could just, I
Can you give
literally.
you more direction?
Hey, I was going to tell them in regards to our FBI SCIF interview, 10 out of 10 makes us reconsider Arrow.
You guys need to meet this guy.
Yeah, he's
He's
great.
big in the
Actually,
UFO
we're going to get a
Matt
conference
Laszlo.
book, but yeah, he's great. I got a roll though. Thanks, guys.
Cool. I'm going, ma'am.
NewsNation.
All right, so that was back in what is that, May? And then let me see. Actually, let's just do this too. Just us. We're just gonna run through the whole timeline really quickly here, because then kind of in response to that, Lue had said like, no, this isn't what happened. We had Lue Elizondo's lawyer, Ivan Handel.
Stuff about SCIF Flu, right?
Yeah.
SCIF Flu. Now, frankly, and sorry, I'm going to keep going. That's pretty insulting. That's pretty insulting. First of all,
I have some audio playing on my thing. I don't know where.
I think that was meant as a, sort of a flippant comment, let's say, about, these people had the flu.
Yes,
But I'll tell you, and I'm not going to go into details, but yes, there was some illness there, but Lou wasn't ill. But I mean, just the point is that, and I'm not going to go into. And then I hear this stuff about SCIF Flu, right? SCIF Flu. Now, frankly, and sorry, I'm going to keep going.
On the screen says, if we all tweeted at Rep Luna, Rep Burleson, Rep Timberchet that we want Lue Elizondo to be at the SCIF, set in advance, confirmed, all clearance is done. No pulling back. I know he will make it. Repost if you agree. Lue says so often, onward and upward.
That's pretty insulting. That's pretty insulting. First of all, I think that was meant as a, sort of a flippant comment, let's say, about, these people had the flu. But I'll tell you, and I'm not going to go into details, but yes, there was some illness there, but Lou wasn't ill. But I mean, just the point is that, and I'm not going to go into health issues, but I would just suggest to you that if somebody did have a health issue, to deride it is ridiculous. Okay.
How dare you, Rep Luna? How dare you be ableist against Lue with the SCIF Flu? Yeah, let's continue this.
Straight up, that is nonsense. Don't treat people like that way. So I'm not happy about that. But then second of all, I mean, it was just nonsense. The whatever SCIF was supposed to happen next, I guess it was last week or whenever it was. From my understanding, I was told that there was 2 days notice given. I mean, if you have to travel from nowhere to DC, it's pretty hard. Right. Yeah. And you can't just drop everything. What about your pre-existing calls and commitments and meetings and plans, whether it's with family or with business or other people you promised? That's not the SCIF Flu. That is honoring your past commitments to others. Yes, want to go to Congress, but there has to be some mutuality of respect. Yeah. So to be said that there was a SCIF Flu is just simply wrong.
Right.
And I don't like that statement, because it suggests that the people were, playing hooky. Nobody was playing hooky. You got to give more than 2 days notice.
Yeah. It's about organization, organizing an event like you put in your tweet 23 hours ago. It should be sent in advance, confirmed, all clearances done, no pulling back. He'll make it, and I'm sure everyone else will make it, but it just has to be scheduled on a time frame that doesn't take into consideration thinking that everybody lives in DC and will drop their life and spend whatever it would cost to come to rush to DC for it, when it could have been organized, scheduled, and planned accordingly.
It is utterly simple to do this. I mean, the actual process of coordination and security and all of that stuff, you can understand why it takes a minute. I get that. So that's fine. But, but to cancel somebody on a meeting, right? To cancel a meeting on somebody at the last minute, literally people have landed and they're like, well, what do we do? Right. And then to later say weeks later, oh, we gave you a day and a half, 2 days.
So yeah, so there's 3 SCIFs in the mix, guys, that there's been some shadiness around. So there's the first one that they say was canceled on them the night before. Then there was the second one where there was SCIF Flu, which, by the way, where was Lue when this was happening? Let's see. I think I have this video ready to go. This is where Lue was, you know.
I wish they'd played more for us.
Yeah. It's really actually a pretty good band. Here we go.
We got Jeremy Corbell, Kenyon. And then there he is.
That's great.
I believe there's Lue Elizondo right there. Ivan Hanel, standing point. Yeah, this is why they missed the SCIF. And then there was the third SCIF, which I'm going to play really quick, and then we're going to shout out everyone who came in the chat right here. But there's like the third thing in this whole little timeline, which I still haven't clipped up. We'll probably have to clip it up now, given all this everything going on here. But this is from Askapol in July. So there's the one in January. There's the one in May where he goes to be on the back of a golf cart in McMinnville, Oregon, instead of getting in the SCIF and changing the world. And then there's this one in July. This statement.
Welcome to the Askapol UA.
Everyone go give Askapol your money.
I'm
He's
your host,
doing
Matt
some of the best stuff out
based
there
here
in
in
UFO
Washington,
land. So.
where I hound the nation's lawmakers on your behalf. Thank you so much to all our subscribers. And hey, make sure and give us a like, if you like us, that is. And if you haven't yet, please consider a paid subscription to help this scrappy startup continue changing Washington one interview at a time. And now, here's our latest Askapol exclusive from your U.S. Capitol.
How are you?
I'm going to put out a statement. They postponed the date because we couldn't get people to testify. And we have another SCIF hearing because the same people that we wanted to get into a SCIF got SCIF Flu. So we're now opening it up to them for when they're ready and available at their convenience to come testify to us in the SCIF. And then as soon as
But no date on that yet.
Also, in full transparency, we're fully simping Luna around here. You know, anyone wanting to call out Lou, we ride or die. You know what I mean? So just throwing it out there.
Well, it's going to be up to their convenience.
Yeah.
And then we'll also ask them as soon as they're ready on, hold on, Burchett. As soon as we can get someone that's willing to testify, well, hey, Burchett!
Nice.
You bring my skateboard?
You got
Skate or die, Luna.
That's Tulsi's.
But you said the public hearing's postponed until after
Yeah,
August?
we asked multiple people and they weren't willing to testify.
Oh, really?
They said we either didn't want to be the only one, we were worried about, you know, our safety, etc.
Huh.
So we're going to have a hearing, but we want to bring people with who have firsthand knowledge and or direct evidence, not second or third hand knowledge.
Huh.
But yeah, it's kind of frustrating because obviously we've been pushing hard for it, but it's like we open the SCIF, they don't want to come testify. We have hearings dates, they don't want to come testify. So
Can you talk? I mean, because the whole reason Aaron was
Awkward.
created was to be a safe space.
I told you how.
Awkward. What's going on here, guys? We got one party saying they're canceling on us, the other party saying they're refusing to come in. Like I said, we fully simp for Luna now, so we're just going to assume that she is 100% correct. And we also know that certain parties, particularly Lue Elizondo, do have a history of kind of weirdo shit like this, but we'll continue.
About Arrow.
Well, I know, but like,
I think Arrow should be cut. I think that they're a joke. Yeah.
but is there any way to like create an infrastructure where whistleblowers feel protected?
Oh, well, I think that it's going to be more on the legislation that we can push because there's still ways that people can be messed with, whether it's their clearances, you know, depending on what it is. So.
Is Secret Task Force, are you guys still planning on investigating the Epstein stuff?
Wait till she learns Lou is behind a lot of the crazy shit happening to Grush. It's going to be a mind fuck, but in due time. Real quick, let's shout out some of the chat. I'm going to throw up the subpoena tweet while we do it, and let's put on some music. Can we do this? Let's see. Dance pop. Okay, yeah, woo. Shout out more of the chat that got in here. We got our lovely mod, Heather Birdie, says hi. Flathouse Media says, I don't think Luna is that bright. This is not a committee you want to get assigned to in Congress. Oh shit, music might be a little too loud. Doing it live. All right, there we go. In Congress. But I respect the shit out of her for finally calling out the grifting frauds. Yes, we do love it. Dog, not to distract, and maybe you've already talked about it, but RBK, where's your head at in regards to the Tic Tac being Lockheed Tech? Or the chat where you're all at? Yeah, everyone in the chat for Dog, put what do you guys think about this latest narrative of Tic Tac being Lockheed Martin Tech? I don't know. To me, it's kind of hard to grasp, potentially, but I kind of lead towards no, especially the way kind of like Ross Coulter did a flip about and he left his show. So there's some shadiness going on with Ross too. Maybe we'll have to explore down the line here. But I don't know. Maybe not. I could see it honestly going either way. Simon, is there another hearing this year? I think so. I believe in September. So like we're a month away from another hearing. Bon Jagged, high five, hell yeah. Sebastian Kramer, made the woo be with Lue. Yeah. Hopefully, do you think, chat, over under, has Lue Elizondo already attempted to psychically attack Rep. Anna Luna in the astral plane like he did terrorist in Guantanamo Bay? Where he manifested angels above their bed and they were, shaking the bed. Evan Meek says, FBI knows about the global cartel. Bone Jagged says, there we go. Bone Jagged says, get that spook Luna, no more Dodie 2.0s. Hell yeah. Flathouse Media says, his lawyer is just doing damage control here. Lou has nothing and she knows it. Dirk Schmidt, you have seen me say this a number of times. Lou's body language just yells double agent. He has been placed there by the intelligence community to manage the disclosure timeframe so they can get their ducks in a row and not go to jail. I 150 billion% agree. And I've even just come across stuff recently that I didn't even know, and I thought I knew all that I could about this guy. That even makes it worse than I had originally thought, which we're going to cover with Chupacabra on my main channel here shortly. Okay. Susan Daniels. Okay, Hannah, enough with the outrage. Just get your clients to church on time. Going to be a lot of swamp gas when you drain the UAP swamp. Wait, so he got subpoenaed? Yes, we're going to get into that right now. That's about to have happened. DT. If it's organized and planned ahead of time, they keep running into people blocking it or intimidating their witnesses. All right. Jess says, yo, what's up? And Ramith says, I like this chick. I don't trust her, but I like her. Yeah, that's kind of a nice way of putting it, huh? All right. Oh, we got a $20 super chat. Hell yeah, from Lolun. What do you think about what the Jason Jorjani said about this interview? Oh, I actually haven't seen what Jason Jorjani said about this interview. If you could maybe DM me it or comment it, we'll definitely get into looking at that. All right, let's continue along here, a little timeline. And turn down the music now. So that was all the prequel stuff about the SCIF Flu, and honestly, like, God bless Luna. Like I said, we simp her now fully. The fact that she's even like you know the way Donald Trump comes up with names for people, like she literally hit Lou with that, like SCIF Flu. Like now do you just call Lou SCIF Flu? I think we have to call him SCIF Flu now. She has that power. She can do that. And again, where he was when he had SCIF Flu, which she was being ableist, according to Ivan Handel, for judging him. Here he was.
I wish they'd played more for us.
Yeah. It's really actually a pretty good band. Here we go.
What do you guys got? Would you guys rather go to a SCIF with beautiful Luna and reveal all the secrets about humanity, or ride on a go-kart in Oregon like this? Would you guys rather be part of the go-kart caravan squad, mob up, mount up, or the SCIF? I don't know. I guess we're all built different, but okay. So then we had the Joe Rogan. She went on Joe Rogan, broke the internet. She's got so much positive news coverage. I actually wanted to do a comparison of like Lue Elizondo's mainstream coverage after the crop circle, and then hers after. A lot of positive news coverage about UFOs and all this stuff. Got everyone talking. Like I said, we're going full simp mode. Here's what she said on Rogan.
Some of the biggest names in UFO lore, okay? And they all got SCIF flu, and we call it SCIF flu, meaning like the day that the SCIF was open, that we reserved it. We're like, we're here. Like, come on, come brief us. They get sick, or
and
their
they didn't
dog
recover
dies.
And come back.
They didn't recover, and then they just don't talk to us anymore. So
they ghost you?
They ghost us. Yeah. So I'm like, well, if you're not going to tell me to SCIF, then you're full of crap.
Or you're scared for your life because you're just a scientist who doesn't. Maybe they got threatened. Maybe someone let them know that maybe someone hung something on their door in the middle of the night.
But if people say they're going to go tell us in a SCIF and then they don't show up, it's a problem, right?
Well,
so they've already gone public.
But maybe those people don't feel like the government's going to protect them.
That is one of the biggest things that we've had people bring up, is that you're a whistleblower, but whistleblower protections only go so far, and you can't do anything for my physical safety. And some of them do allege that there's these actual physical concerns. We actually had someone that we wanted to bring in to testify, because our next hearing on UAP is going to be, I believe it's next month. And the individual that was actually told.
All right, so this is where she said the SCIF Flu thing. Let's shout out some of our people. We got Trust Material in the chat, laughing it off with us. Hell yeah, having a good old time. We're having fun. But yeah, so she loves the SCIF Flu term, and she killed it. She coined a term. I guess let's watch a little bit more of this. Honestly, like I said yesterday, it seems like Joe Rogan is like either invested in Earth Tech or maybe a secret producer on Age of Disclosure, because he cannot stop talking about amnesty and stuff.
Test by David Grush is actually a former combat controller, and so my husband, Air Force Special Operator, combat control. But so we knew the guy via some friends, so we knew that the guy wasn't nuts or crazy. and reached out to him, and he did not want to come in. He wanted nothing to do with it, was like, I'm not touching this. And so, that stuff like that happens.
Well, also, you put those folks on TV, right?
We don't have to. We can do private, but if we testify.
If it comes time where they have to testify,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of time in between people finding out that this guy came and told you guys what's up to testify.
Don't freak out our witnesses, John.
But that's the problem. This is why
No one's gonna
what I
testify
was
to us
talking
now.
about is what's being advocated in the documentary that to me makes perfect sense is mass amnesty. Now, here's the bad part. For sure, you're dealing with enormous sums of money, and I'm sure people got really rich off of that, and I'm sure it's super.
Chat, should the people who are gang stalking Americans for like decades and like psychologically torturing them, should they get mass amnesty? Should we just give blanket amnesty to people before we even know what they're really wanting amnesty for? I don't know. It honestly is an interesting what's the word? Philosophical question. Like, I don't know. I personally lean towards no, because on the stuff I've even seen like happening today, like in front of everyone, is horrible, and I think people need to be held accountable for. But I can only imagine the stuff that's like behind in the back channels that I'm not even aware of. That's like crazy. But anyways, yeah. So let's go back to the beginning part a little bit. Here's where she says the whole SCIF Flu thing, and then we're going to get into Lue and the latest back and forths on Twitter.
I've reached out to some of the biggest names in UFO lore, okay? And they all got SCIF Flu, and we call it SCIF Flu, meaning like the day that the SCIF was open, that we reserved it. We're like, we're here. Like, come on, come brief us. They get sick, or
And
their
they didn't
dog
recover
dies.
and come back?
They didn't recover, and then they just don't talk to us.
So this is a call out to Lue Elizondo that she does here. All right, to the amnesty question, we got some good stuff. Clip says, let me see, how do I make this? Let's just remove this from now. Case by case basis. Dog says, I would have to think much harder about it though. Dog says, broad amnesty does not seem like a bad choice to me personally. Ramith says, no amnesty, they have to pay for their sins. Lil Lund says, no, they need to pay, taxes went to this. Benno, actions have Benno, what's good, bro? Actions have consequences, no amnesty. DT, I think the momentum is behind disclosure and they're just trying to sneak in. Exactly. It's the people responsible for the crimes are trying to like facilitate and manufacture this kind of what we're seeing so that they don't get in trouble. Right? There's a reason why you hear like all the people on your TV telling you for UFO disclosure, also telling you give amnesty, because they're the ones doing the dirty stuff, in my opinion. Amnesty before the dam breaks. I do not approve of amnesty, says DT. Kawai Ani-chan. It depends, because on one side they are voluntold and on one side they did bad things. Yeah, and honestly, that is true. I think there should be a case by case thing. I think there's different degrees, right? But if there was an element of our government that was like kidnapping kids and torturing them to like interface with NHI, I don't know, man. I don't think they should get amnesty. I'm not saying that you think that. Suzanne says, no blanket amnesty. We're talking wet works people. Look at Randall Nickerson. The guy is continuously freaked by the surveillance and threats. Major experiencers are still getting bullied and worse. Yep. Chase says, maybe everyone should email them saying how disappointed they are. Ha ha ha. All right, we're going to continue along here. So what was the next thing? Oh, yeah. So then after she says the SCIF Flu thing, let's do this. We got Lue's tweet. Lue shot across the bow. Where are we at? I think it's right here.
After several visits to D.C. at the request of members of Congress at my own expense, we were given cancellations at the last minute. After coming back home again, I made it clear the last time that I had a pre-existing commitment. I was given 3 days notice and no guarantees while having committed to speaking in Oregon publicly available. Luna knows the truth and we have the emails to prove it. I will chalk this up to her not being informed by her staff and an innocent mistake, I hope. Otherwise, let this be a lesson to future whistleblowers who want congressional protections. This is all about media attention and less about truth. I hope this is not the case, and I suspect Chris Mellon and others at UAPDF that know the truth may have more to say about this.
Yep, that happened. Lue Elizondo
I've reached out to some of the biggest names in UFO lore, okay? And they all got SCIF Flu, and we call it SCIF Flu, meaning like the day that the SCIF was open, that we reserved it. We're like, we're here. Like, come on, come brief us. They get sick, or
and
their dog dies.
And they didn't recover and come back?
They didn't recover, and then they just don't talk to us anymore. So
they ghost you?
They ghost us. Yeah, so I'm like, well, if you're not going to tell me to SCIF, then you're full of crap.
Or you're scared for your life because you're just a scientist who doesn't, maybe they got threatened, maybe some.
All right, so yes, so let's see, where's the first one? We got Boom. So this was the first thing from Lue immediately after the Rogan thing. This is very interesting. We're going to dissect this a little bit because she references the UAP Disclosure Fund, which so does Lue. So after several visits to DC at the request of members of Congress at my own expense, we were given cancellations at the last minute. After coming back home again, I made it clear the last time that I had a pre-existing commitment. I was given 3 days notice and no guarantees while having committed to speaking in Oregon publicly available. And for the chat, let's just remind everyone that was this event.
That's great.
LOL. All right. I will chalk this up to her not being informed by her staff and an innocent mistake. ... I hope. Otherwise, let this be a lesson to future whistleblowers who want congressional protections. This is all about media attention and less about truth. I hope this is not the case. And I suspect Chris Mellon and others at the UAP Disclosure Fund know the truth and may have more to say about this. ... So Lue Elizondo, on his dramatic shit, on his artista shit, is putting all these ... and I hope, and you know, he loves the theatrics. This is gonna get good, guys. This is gonna get really interesting here. All right, and also he posted this email as proof, but then so just FYI for everyone in the universe, if you don't know, you don't want to be doing the screenshot on the iPhone thing and then blurring it out because people could lift it. But interestingly enough, Lue Elizondo's email still was blacked out, but all these other ones, and I read these reds are me, but all these emails are exposed, including Eric Davis, Chris Mellon. And by the way, it's interesting that he mentioned the UAP Disclosure Fund and Chris Mellon, because remember, after the whole crop circle fiasco, he was actually kicked off the UAP Disclosure Fund. Let's go back in time. You remember this? Let's see.
This is an altitude of 21,000 feet. Taken by a civilian pilot. The object potentially is anywhere between 600 to 1,000 feet. I cannot vouch for the veracity of this photograph. And I just received permission today to share this with you.
Every special access program has a counterintelligence officer. That's their job. You know, it's their job. There's a source of forged documents right there. Go back through the UFO history and you'll see fingers pointing to others.
Guess what? Congress has no idea that this is happening on a regular basis.
It is, isn't it, Lou?
That's a problem.
That is a problem, isn't it, Lou? You saw that great PR that Lue Elizondo brought our movement with that one. Great job, Lou. Great work, Lou. So yeah, interesting. He mentions the UAP Disclosure Fund because she's going to mention them too right now in a very weird way. Before that, though, this was her response, her initial response to this. A strange and frankly bizarre post from someone I didn't even name. Although, let's be honest, Luna, you definitely did. You were talking about Lou. Let's just keep it real. We're still riding or dying for you. We're still simping right now. But Lue Elizondo, you have my number. Yeah, you went on X instead of contacting me directly? ? We've been coordinating with the same organization you were a part of, only to learn after the UAPDF roundtable that you had left. Correct me if I'm wrong. So in my opinion, this is her saying that Lue Elizondo was low-key acting like he was still on the UAP Disclosure Fund, even though he had already been kicked off because of the whole crop circle thing. Let's read that back one more time. We've been coordinating with the same organization you were a part of, only to learn after the UAPDF roundtable that you had left. Correct me if I'm wrong. What does that mean, guys? Chat, what does that mean? Real talk. That's I don't know how to read that other than old Lou got kicked off of the UAP Disclosure Fund for showing this dumbass photo.
It's an altitude of 21,000 feet.
and then he was acting like he was still on the UAP Disclosure Fund while talking to them, bro. Which, by the way, is totally a Lue Elizondo type move. Anyways, she says, regardless, you could have all still come to the SCIF at any time. As I told you, we'd work around your schedule. Let this be a lesson for all UAP whistleblowers. We have an open SCIF policy. I love that she did. I love that she flipped the "let this be a lesson for all UAP whistleblowers" on him, because he was like, "Let this be a lesson to all UAP whistleblowers who want congressional protections. This is all about media attention and less about truth. Love that. Let this be a lesson for all UAP whistleblowers. We have an open SCIF policy. If you have information to share, we will gladly host you. How Lue handled this wasn't just immature, it was odd. Especially since I never... So hold up. How Lue handled this wasn't just immature, it was odd. She calls Lue immature and odd, bro. This is literally my Christmas. We are loving every moment of this. The fact is, he never returned despite our willingness to host him. And yes, I'll still extend the invitation now. If you have anything, come in and brief us. We will get this SCIF. It is 100% on you. This is my Christmas.
I've reached out to some of the biggest names in UFO lore, okay? They all got SCIF Flu, and we call it SCIF Flu, meaning like the day that the SCIF was open that we reserved it, we're like, we're here, like, come on, come brief us. They get sick or
And
their
they didn't
dog dies.
they ghost you?
They ghost us. Yeah, so I'm like, well, if you're not going to tell me to skip, then you're full of crap.
Or you're scared for your life because you're just a scientist.
I'm not interested in hearing about people's books. I'm interested in hearing about whether or not people can answer the questions, because we are trying to get this into the archive.
Simon says Luna will throw in a free McDonald's for the next SCIF meeting. How do we get Lou? We got to throw in some Chardonnay. If we have some Chardonnay at the next SCIF, I think Lou might show up. We just have to get some Chardonnay. Yeah. Good looking Mamacita is doing a good job. She really is, bro. I mean, yes, she's beautiful, but honestly, she's cutthroat too here, especially in this situation. Like I said, we're standing Luna during this whole little campaign that Lou's launched against her. Okay, continuing on a little timeline, we have Burleson. This poor guy just wants to know the truth about aliens, and God bless his heart. God bless his heart that there's someone kind of acting like this, where I'm clearly gonna go full chaos agent in support of Luna. There's people like Eric Burleson trying to mediate the waters. He says, "You are both patriots who are passionate about serving our country. I take blame for this because the problem we are facing is that we were trying to align the stars and have everyone be in the SCIF briefing at the same time." So, bless his heart, Burleson's like, blame me. Don't get mad at each other. Hate me. Like Ash Ketchum in the Pokemon movie, right? Between Mew and Mewtwo. Especially considering that it is on their whistleblowers' dime. And many of them legitimately have service-related health issues to varying degrees. Yeah, Luna. Like Ivan Handel said, don't be ableist, Luna. I'm just kidding. Lue Elizondo, that being said, if you want to come in and do the briefing in the SCIF, we can work around your schedule. I'm happy to take it offline or to talk offline about how we can make it work, and further how we can make the experience for whistleblowers not as much of a sacrifice as it has been. All right. So Burleson trying to do the good thing, trying to mend the waters here. And then last night, Lue Elizondo went on NewsNation, Nexstar Funded Media, Google Nexstar Scientology, and here's what he had to say.
Request to have people like you testify in a classified room called a SCIF. It's a sensitive compartmented information facility. She didn't mention you specifically, but take a look.
I've reached out to some of the biggest names in UFO lore. They all got SCIF Flu, and we call it SCIF Flu, meaning like the day that the SCIF was open that we reserved it, we're like, we're here, like, come on, come brief us. They get sick. They ghost us. Yeah, so I'm like, well, if you're not going to tell me to skip, then you're full of crap.
Now, after you criticized her comments on Joe Rogan's show, her comments that she replied back, she said, you're a strange and frankly bizarre post. She didn't even mention you by name. Lou, what is going on here? Why do you think she's referring to you? What's happening here?
Sure. Well, first of all, let me applaud the work that she's doing for
So Lou loves the theatrics. I've never seen him wear a "Don't Tread on Me" hat. You know what I mean? He loves the messaging. He loves the hidden messaging. He loves that shit. He loves to put people on little freaking, what's the word? National treasure, little like goose chases. And he loves to do that stuff. He does. So I think there's something to be said about that. He's wearing a "Don't Tread on Me" hat. All right, let's continue here.
For disclosure and for greater transparency. She's doing a tremendous work in that area. And I'm a big fan of her. I have been for a very long time. I've spoken to her many times, very frankly. But this was clearly, if you look at social media, this was a reference. She refers to SCIF Flu, referring to the individuals that were originally arranging a SCIF meeting for her. That was myself, Chris Mellon, and several others. Now, she did not mention me by name. And in all fairness, I really hope this is a miscommunication. But if she was referring to me, and by the way, in her tweet, she didn't say she wasn't. She never said I wasn't talking about you, Lou. So we still don't know. But if she was, I needed to make it.
He does have a point. I mean, Luna, just own it. You were 100% talking about Lou there, but okay.
Clear, because if someone's going to go on an internationally syndicated podcast and make an inference that I, for whatever reason, had flu and was sick at the time of a SCIF, that's not accurate. It's not even remotely in the world of any type of reason. In fact, I've already talked in a SCIF already with the DOD and the DNI as well. And oh, by the way, under their IG programs. And also, I testified under oath before the American people, and I was in DC 3 separate times when our meetings in the SCIF were canceled and postponed. Now, keep in mind,
guys, what do you make of this? 3 separate. I'm honestly, I think like Lou and Ivan might be in a little bit of a right here. Not fully, but seems like the SCIF is changing up on them. I personally support it because I personally think they're all like under investigation or something for gang stalking and stuff. Just keeping it real with you, keeping it 100. It's weird the way this whole SCIF has been. Everything about this SCIF has been sus. We got to ask ourselves why. What is happening? He had SCIF flu. He didn't have SCIF flu. He's sick. He wasn't sick. Luna's ableish. She's not. He's actually in Oregon.
Yeah. It's really actually a pretty good band. Here we go.
Wyoming, in the middle of nowhere. My closest airport, 30 miles, and I have one plane that leaves from our airport every day, and it's a CRJ 200.
So you would testify, by the way, if she asked you again?
1,000%. And in fact, no one's ghosting her, at least not me. I would love an opportunity. I just need some notice. Got to give me more than.
Yeah, the state of ufology. No one's ghosting her, not me. We got the counter intel agency for gang stalkers saying, "I'm not ghosting the hottest congresswoman." What a world to live in.
So you would testify, by the way, if she asked you again?
1,000%. And in fact, no one's ghosting her, at least not me. I would love an opportunity. I just need some notice. Got to give me more than 3 days.
I totally get it. And at the end of the day, I wanted to ask you, because you guys are on the same side. It's for transparency. So I hope it happens.
100%.
Lue Elizondo.
Luna's not an enemy. Correct. Look, she's doing great
I hear
work.
you. I hear you. Lou, thank you so much.
I'm a friend, not an enemy of what she's trying to do.
Got it. Thank you for clearing the air. Appreciate it.
So Lou goes on national media and says, "I'm a friend, not an enemy." And then what does Luna hit back with in the morning? She hits him back with this, the subpoena. We're subpoenaing your ass, Lou. This Rep Luna. I just talked to also, I just want to throw in also, by the way, the Lou crew, like, this is what Lou does. Actually, shit, sorry, I'm going to go back. Like, Lou, like, he's like, oh, I hope, all of his little minions and acolytes and stuff, they all started going after Luna, calling her a fraud, calling her all this stuff, right? And this is clear. This is what he does. He does messaging, but he's like, oh, I didn't say it. I just kind of, like, accidentally doxed all these emails and said, like, they would know all of what to do. It's like, okay, well, what do you think all your crazy-ass psycho followers are going to do with this Lou? He knows exactly what he's doing. So she was dealing with that. So I think that's why I think she saw through his fake little like, oh, we're all friends. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's see back to where we were. Okay. So after this morning, this 2 hours ago or so, 3 hours ago, I just talked to Comer regarding issuing subpoenas for certain individuals that developed SCIF flu. I love it. She's doubling down. Or had other things come up when we asked them to come in to divulge information to Congress. Damn. I didn't even realize this at first. They all caps to Congress. Yes, she's saying, Lou, do not choose this over Congress, brother.
That's great.
Dude, the golf carts can wait. There will be another golf cart, brother. All right, let's see. What I love about this job is fleshing out all the truth tellers from those that are trying to sell books and potentially be disingenuous in an effort to undermine our investigations. So this is huge again. So let's remember what I had played early at the beginning, right? The first time we ever hear this sell books clip was after the hearing, November 13th. This is the next day.
Yesterday, was I a little bit disappointed in some of the responses from the witnesses? Yes, we got some great stuff, but I'm not interested in hearing about people's books. I'm interested in hearing about whether or not people can answer the questions, because we are trying to get this into the archives so that people have access to the information. And so I wish there was a little less pitching and more talking.
So there's Luna. That's directly about Lou, right? So that's important because when she's making this reference. What I love about this job is fleshing out the truth tellers from those that are trying to sell books and potentially being disingenuous in an effort to undermine our investigations. This is huge, guys. I hope you guys can really see what's going on here. I know me and Tiu have been kind of saying this for a long time, and you know, it sounds annoying, but like, she's directly accusing Lue Elizondo of potentially undermining their investigations to get to the bottom of the UAP truth here. Right? This is kind of huge. Lue Elizondo, are you undermining our investigations to get to the bottom of the UFO? Are you, what's the word? What's the phrase? Is the fox in the hen house? Is the person that they thought they could trust really the one gang stalking the entire community and siphoning information and promising people money for this, and then you never hear from them ever again? Is that what's going on? Are you working for the contractors, Lou? She's asking the question one more time. What I love about this job is flushing out the truth tellers from those that are trying to sell books and potentially being disingenuous in an effort to undermine our efforts. See you in the SCIF. I wish you would have added a freaking kiss emoji or some shit to that, because I love the way it's just like boom at the end there. See you in the SCIF, Lou. Yeah, she's already dealing with your little hate group in the back channels, it seems, and yeah, she's not buying the NewsNation. We're all friends, bro. This is a shot across the bow, and that's pretty much it. That's the update, I think, for now. Let me know in the chat if there's another update that I missed since we went live. And let's shout out some of the chat here. Jess says she needs to bring a few bottles of Chardonnay for the SCIF. That'll get him. Yeah, let's put on some media or some music. We'll do this. Yeah, we're having fun. We're standing Luna, especially during this thing. Red says wine in a bubble bath. That's how we get Lou to the SCIF. Simon says Burleson might be the only human intelligence lately. Yes, but also, you know, you can't, like, Congress people don't have so much time, you know, so they're easily susceptible, especially like this with Lou, right? Like, I'll just say that, yeah. Burleson needs to wake the fuck up. Lou is a traitor to his country. Yeah, you remember when Burleson was like, give Lou a break, guys? I might try and actually pull that up if I can. He's like, give Lou a break, like, stop being so hard on Lou after the, I'm not going to be able to find it right now while we do all this. We'll have it ready for next time. Flathouse Media says, Burleson has put too much of his time with nothing to show for it yet. I can't have his star witness falling apart. Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, Lou, it looks like Luna doesn't give a fuck. A lot of people, I feel like, they invest in Lou, and then once Lou starts going bad, they're like, fuck, I'm already invested. Like, if he looks bad, I look bad. So they just kind of go with crazy shit. Suzanne Daniel says, such a soap opera. Yes, but also at the same time, I personally think Lue Elizondo is responsible for a lot of the craziest shit happening in this cover-up, and I think this is just the... We're just seeing the fingers of, like, you know what I mean? Like, if fingers were, like, on the water, we're just seeing the fingers. There's so much shit happening probably behind the scenes with all this going on. Remit says, I hope Greer gets involved in this somehow. Jersey Drones Part 2. Yes, I'm almost going to finish that too. That's honestly already almost done, but I've been learning a lot about this SCIF stuff and researching that, and I got this live stream with Tuba prepared where, you know, I've been interviewing people who have reported similar kind of gang stalking type events that it's currently happening, and like, so I do feel like there's a little bit more of a sense of urgency there, because some people I do know are like being tailed and gang stalked like literally last week, which is very concerning. Simon says, wait, is NewsNation big on aliens because Scientology has alien beliefs at its core? Allegedly, potentially, maybe. There's an interesting 4chan whistleblower thing from like January that I put on here. It's on this backup channel that you guys could go watch. Where that allegedly might be the case with what's going on. Just Google their name. Google Nexstar Media and Scientology yourself, and you will see. Actually, you know what? I might be able to do that real quick. I might have that ready to go. Give me 1 minute. Where are we at? Okay, here we go. I think this is it. Okay. So this is from what I was talking about, this 4chan leak. Music. Or 4chan whistleblower. I personally, to me, a lot of this stuff tracks also, but we'll see.
Best course of action would be to try to prove or disprove the connection between people and corporations of ufology and the Church of Scientology. For example, NewsNation is pushing the topic like there is no tomorrow. They are owned by Nexstar, just like 50 other media outlets. Google, Nexstar Scientology. Not only they share Scientologist press releases, thousands of them, but a lot of employees seem to sympathize with them.
One thing that does interest me is I do think the Church of Scientology knows a lot more than it's letting on. And it's interesting because Danny Sheehan has indicated something about this. I strongly recommend people go back and.
Isn't that interesting the way that it all works out? So there's that. Where are we at? I don't think we're going to be able to go all the way up there, but let's see. Sebastian says Chandeliers and Chardonnay, the new book from Imminent. I like that. Scott Rader says, usually I got 3 days to be called to testify in an oath in court, so I think 3 days is fine. Yeah. Luis Dio, SCIFs are just a hologram for us, not relevant for people who don't have clearances, ergo do not expect anything from this government ufology. That is another good point too. It's like all this hype around the SCIF, it's like at the end of the day, kind of fuck a SCIF. Let's just do it all publicly. But still, it is shady that Lou isn't doing it. I don't know, 3 days is a lot of time if you know something that would change civilization forever. Yeah, but unfortunately we got go-karts or golf carts. Thomas, Greer does not testify in front of Congress. Congress testify in front of Greer. Damn. Hell yeah. Let's see. We had Anjali in the chat. Welcome, Anjali. Luna is holding loose feet to the fire. We love to see it. We love to see a strong woman hold a counter intel dude's ass. Fucking, you know what I mean? He's in trouble. Can't blame her for being sussed out by Lou. He's done a lot of sus things. Totally has. Clip by Cran. Pepsi Cassius. Thank God people are finally seeing through Lou's fake mask. Yeah. And with that, I think we're going to close out. Oh, let's see. Fly Ether. Rogan turned into a skeptic on Sam Tripoli. Oh, really? LOL. That's funny. I still haven't seen that yet. DTC's wow. Religion on the side of disclosure. Yeah, I mean, call it what you will. Call it what you will. But all right, that's it for now. That's SCIF. I'm sure this isn't going to stop. We're subpoenaing. We've reached the phase of the timeline where we are subpoenaing Lue Elizondo. I love this. Love to see it. God bless you. If anything else breaks, maybe I'll do another one later today. Or maybe I'll do one about the whole end of the world talk from Ivan, allegedly, per John Davies. But yeah, all right, with that, peace out.